Cora. So tonight I have a different episode for you planned. So today we're going to be talking about Porsche McGregor Sims, who sadly lost her life last year in 2020 to cervical cancer. And her mum and loads of her friends have created this album called Your Face is an Album to raise money for Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust in her name. So today I'm going to be speaking to Portia's mum, Fiona. So I'd like you to welcome to the screen, Fiona. Hello, Fiona. How are you?
Hello, lovely. I'm good. Thank you.
Good. Good to see your face.
Yeah, at last. It's first time speaking face to face.
I
Yeah.
know. It's just been Facebook messages like to and fro,
Yeah.
hasn't
Little messages. Tap, 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 tap.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, thank you very much for coming on the show and coming on to speak about Porsche and the album. I'm really happy to be able to use this platform to speak about that. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for your involvement in it all.
No problem at all. And so, just if we can, because for people out there who've never met Portia, let's just kind of come rewind the clock a little bit. So, back to
Yeah.
2020, Portia got diagnosed with cervical cancer.
Yeah. So she was diagnosed with what they initially thought was stage one cervical cancer in the start of April last year. Um, about a week later, I think they told her it was stage four cervical cancer. And then about 3 days after that, she was taken into hospital with breathing issues and died the next day. It was fast and it was sudden. We really weren't expecting it. It was, yeah, it was pretty shocking.
That is so quick and sudden. Nothing could prepare you for that, really.
Sorry.
I was saying that's so quick and sudden. Like nothing in the world
It
could prepare you
was.
for that.
Yeah, no, 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 completely. I mean, we knew that she'd been unwell because she'd been seeing doctors on and off, well, been seeing doctors for about a year and a half, and they were diagnosing various different things. Um, but yeah, from the point of which we discovered that she had cancer to the point of which she died was, I want to say 10 days, something like 10 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
And gosh, that must have been hard for Portia, obviously, to go through that journey, but also hard for you supporting her in that journey.
It was, if I'm really honest, we didn't even get the chance for it to be a journey. We went from, um, we've got stage one cancer. Well, that's fine. We're anticipating a journey. Then when she was told it was stage four, they said, well, operating is pointless. There's no point in operating. We're going to put you in for chemo and radiotherapy. Obviously, this was the time that we were in lockdown as
Yeah.
well. So we were planning for me to go up and stay up at her house with her,
Mm.
um, and help her through that because her fiance Mark had to work. He was still going out. There was the coronavirus thing floating around. We didn't know how vulnerable she was going to be to that as well. So the general idea was that he would move in with her sister and Tempest boyfriend, and I would move up there and stay with Portia while she went through it. And we were in the middle of planning that when she died. We didn't even really sort of get to the point of, I'm fairly sure she didn't get to the point of having the conversation with her consultant where he would have told her that it was all going to be palliative care and that was it, and that the chemo and the radiotherapy were going to be a means of extending her life by a little bit, but not fixing the problem.
Yeah. Wow. What a thing to go through. And had she had her cervical screen?
She did indeed. This was one of the things. She had her cervical screen at 25. Immediately, she was really on top of stuff like that. She was very aware of taking the care that you could of yourself. Um, and but in fact, she died before the 3 years was up, where she was due to go back for her next smear test. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And so you in dealing with that in this whole year, you've now created this album to raise money for the charity.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, if I'm honest, Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust ca- is a charity that I found sort of after the effect. Matt Harrison came to me with the idea of the album. I think on the first anniversary of Portia's death, we'd gone up there together to go and visit her grave. And he sort of said, well, I've had this idea, wouldn't this be good? And I went out and found Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust, because we wanted, obviously, the funds to go to something relevant. But again, because the whole business of Porsche last year was so fast, we'd never actually managed to connect. We'd never connected to them originally because there just wasn't the time. It just wasn't um, there just wasn't the time, really. That was it. So I found them, got in touch with them. So it was Matt's idea. And
Great.
he started putting together musical acts. And yeah, it's gone from there.
Yeah, because Portia was a very big supporter of local music, wasn't she? And Matt talks about her all the
She
time.
was. She was yeah, she was a massive supporter of local music, and she'd turn up anywhere for pretty much any band. But I think it was actually, in fairness, it was Matt that got her into it, because she met Matt when they were working at Animal, which was a job that she got when she was in college.
Mm.
And I think it was him going to see his band that really sort of brought her into the local music scene. Then when she came back from Plymouth, where she was in university, she was working at LJR's for a while, organising their open mic nights down there and things like that. So, yeah, she did. She'd turn up for people, somebody playing a banjo in a field, basically. Just like that.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
I unfortunately never had the pleasure of meeting Portia, but I hear so many amazing stories about her, how she was a big personality, the life of the party, and all of that.
Oh, she was. I mean, she was a tiny, tiny human being. She really was. But she had this huge personality scrammed into this tiny little elfin body. She was elfin. Um, and sometimes she was elfin a bit like, Cicely Mary Barker's Little Flower Fairies, and sometimes she was elfin like Lord of the Rings, and sometimes she was elfin like Scandinavian mythology with, sharp pointy teeth, and she'd eat heart bit out of your rib cage while you watched. I mean, there was all of that was in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, she did. She just walked in, and it was like water. Her personality just expanded to fill whatever space she was in.
Wow. And she lights up a room,
Yeah.
I hear people say as well.
Yeah,
And
absolutely, completely. I mean, I used to sort of stand back sometimes and try to sort of objectively look at her, because obviously this is my child, and I just look
yeah.
at her and sometimes think, where did you come from? You know, where did you come from? Because she was very, very like me in so many ways. Out of all of my kids, she was the one that, between her ears, she was the most like me. But she had aspects of her personality that were like that were never me. I was always very reserved. I was always stood in the corner watching other people, seeing what was going on. But she'd walk in and boom, that was it.
She's everyone's friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Amazing. And do you think she would absolutely adore this idea of this album?
Oh my God, she'd be there going, oh yeah, it's an album about me. Yeah, completely. I'll tell you what, the best bit would be, she'd be turning around to her twin brother, Giucani, and she'd be going, nobody's making an album for you, bitch, are they?
Yes,
That would, yeah, that would be it.
that's amazing. And of
Yeah.
course, I'm going to be sharing the photo anyway, but the album cover is her face.
Oh,
Which
it is.
great.
Yes, absolutely. It's from the photo that we used for. So we had a kind of, obviously we couldn't have the funeral that we wanted to have at the time that she died last year.
Mm.
So we had her proper funeral and memorial service a little bit later in the year, which was like a little mini festival. And the photo that Samo White has done, he's done the artwork for the album cover, but the photo he used for that was a picture of hers that we used for the front of the lanyard for Festipops. So yeah,
Festipops. Love it.
Festipops, the anti-funeral.
Oh, that's incredible. Oh, bless her. She'll be looking down, just going, yeah.
Oh, absolutely, completely. She would.
Fantastic. And this album, it's compiled of, is it 12 or 13 now artists?
I want to say 13, but I think that might change. I think we might have somebody else
Okay,
possibly coming on.
great.
I don't know. I've got Matt's coming down from Manchester. I
Mm.
think probably right now he's on his way down from Manchester, and I've got a meeting with him at 8:30 tomorrow morning to talk about this stuff. Um, so I will find out a bit more then. But yeah, I think it's about 13 at the moment.
Amazing. That's incredible. And are those all Portsmouth-based artists or?
They are all Portsmouth-based artists, with the exception of Matt's band, Hometown Show, and his solo thing, Somewhere in the Wildwood. They're all female, which seemed appropriate.
Yeah.
All female acts. Matt, obviously, it was his idea, so he gets to be on the album anyway. But part of the reason for that is that his contribution as Somewhere in the Wildwood is Portia's song, which he wrote for Festipops last year.
Yeah, which is a gorgeous song.
It is, and Hometown Show was one of Portia's favourite bands. So I've now got all her Hometown Show CDs.
Yeah, you're like, yes. Amazing. Well, it's no brainer then that they have to be on the album.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, completely. But other than that, it just seemed like a good idea. Again, I'd like to take credit for it, but actually it was Matt's idea, to have female artists on this album for, what is a uniquely,
Yeah.
well, it's largely female problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Matt, for anyone who's watching or listening, Matthew Harrison was my first ever guest on the podcast.
Oh,
So
was it?
just for reference, yeah. So
I didn't know.
he came on, played a few Summer in the Wildwood songs.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, he was my first guest. So yeah, that's who we're talking about, everyone. Just so reference there. But yeah, Matt actually asked me to be on the album as well, and I had never had anything recorded. And he also said that a few of the other artists actually are releasing music for the first time on the album, which is great.
Again, I didn't actually know that. See, he's completely the music side of it,
Yeah,
and I'm kind of on the other end of it, going, let's promote this. I need to promote this. Find me different ways to promote this. So yeah, he's dealing with the music part.
amazing. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's really cool to know, actually.
Yeah, no, I recorded the song specifically for putting on the album, and now that's my
Oh,
debut single, so that's really cool.
that is amazing. Thank you for that. That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
of course. It pushed me to do it, so I needed that.
There you go. Something else has been achieved then, hasn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely, I think so. And you know what? It's brought loads of people together because now we're all in the group together, we're talking, and
Yeah.
that's what these kind of situations can do. As sad as they are, and we lose people that we love, which is never easy, but it does bring
No.
people together, and so we have to put that silver lining. And
Yeah, oh, completely, And I would also actually like to give a little shout out to Amber Tremaine, who is a lady I've known for some years. She is obviously involved with the album. She was a massive help in getting some of the other artists on board. And she, a bit like yourself, actually has been completely committed to. She sort of said, I'll do anything you need for this. But she also sang at Festipops last year. And because you were asking about Portia, so the kind of person that Portia was, Portia never actually met Amber, but she was not feeling too great. And obviously, again, just a reminder that we were all in lockdown at the time. And Amber had put a thing out on her Facebook page to her neighbours, really saying, how would you feel about me doing a rooftop gig? Basically, I think just she didn't want to upset the neighbours. And Portia sort of responded to that because she was aware of the fact that Amber had previously lived quite close to where she'd lived. And yeah, she just responded to it and said, I would love that, no, I don't live there anymore. And I think Amber said, yeah, I don't live there anymore either. Actually, I've moved somewhere else now. And I found out from Amber after Festipops that they just started chatting. And that was just a couple of weeks before Portia died. Wow. And just from the conversations that Amber had with Porsche, just over Messenger, not even anything, not face to face or over phone calls or anything. When she died, Amber just turned around and said, "Is there anything I can do, with the thing, if you want me to do anything?" And she was there immediately. And that's just a little kind of idea of how she was a people person. She, of how much impact she could have in a very small time.
Yeah. Small time here in the world, but a massive impact.
Oh, completely, yeah. When she died, when she died, obviously we made the announcement. I put a post out on Facebook about it, and I was getting messages from people who'd known her for a very short period of time, years ago, literally saying, well, obviously, the obvious, "I can't believe this," blah, 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 but very often also saying things like, "She really helped me. She really helped me through a particularly hard time. She was amazing." Because the obvious thing with Porsche, as soon as you see her photograph, is to look at her looks. Everybody sort of looked at Porsche and said, "My God, you're beautiful." And she was. She used to get compared to Michelle Pfeiffer all the time. She did modelling. She was listed with an agency in London. Came within a hair's breadth of being one of the Schwarzkopf hair models.
Wow.
It was, but actually, Deucalion, her twin brother, said something about her looks at one point. He said her looks were the dullest thing about her. And all of these responses that I was getting from these people, the messages, postings on Facebook, sort of vindicated that she was beautiful, and she was lovely, and she was funny, and she was bubbly. But actually, she was even more than that. She took time with people. She helped people out. She understood that nobody on this planet is perfect, because she knew she wasn't. And so she was very accepting of people, and a very wide range of people, and people who you might sometimes sort of say, "Oh, well, your reputation there, I maybe should be a bit more careful of you." She would sit and talk to people, and just take that time and get to know people, and not make judgments, not make, off the bat judgments.
Yeah. It's incredible to have people in the world like her, and so sad
It is.
lose them to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I really, really wish I knew her. And we would get on so well, I think.
Yeah, I think, but then again, this is it. She just did. I mean, as I said, that particularly that kind of thing, because I'm a really judgmental bitch, So it's like, where do you know that from?
Yeah. Amazing. Oh, she would love this. And so back to the album there. You called the album Your Faces as an album, which I think is
Absolutely.
great. Did you come up with the name, or was that Matt again?
I came up with the name.
Great.
I'm just going to pop this light on to give a little
Yeah,
bit more.
go for it. Yeah.
There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, so the name came from me. And Matt asked, he made a suggestion, but Porsche used to do this thing, and it's not unique to her. I've seen other people do it. If you're having a conversation with her, light-hearted conversation, joking around about something, bants, and you would name something, you'd talk about something, so you'd say, "Oh, there's a piece of cheese here," and she'd just say around, she'd go, "Your face is cheese," or "Your cheese," or something like that. But very often it's like, "Your face is cheese," or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So when Matt was saying about a title for it, it was like, "Oh, that's got to be that. It's Your Face as an album." And I wish I could say I was smart enough to have thought of this beforehand, but I'm not. It was kind of, but quite kind of sort of. There is a secondary, if you look for it, there's kind of a secondary meaning to that, which is, when we look at people's faces, we see them, we see their lives, we see aspects of them, so your face is like an album full of different photographs at different times of day and different moods and different emotions. So yeah, but like I said, I didn't think of that before.
Doesn't matter.
It's just like, this is such a Porsche thing to say, this is what it's got to be.
Yeah. No, I like both of those reasons why it's called that. I love that. That's amazing. And so the album is being released on the 20th of June.
Yeah.
Which is Sunday, and it's lining up with Cervical Screening Week. Is that right?
It's Sunday. It's definitely Sunday, not Friday.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Which is the Sunday, which is great to be
Yeah.
doing the screening week to raise a bit more awareness.
Yeah, it's the last day of Cervical Screening Awareness Week.
Great.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so everyone can pre-order from now on Bandcamp.
They can indeed. And if they do pre-order, it's £10, which I think is pretty good going.
Yeah.
Especially if you're getting 13 or 14 tracks on there.
Yeah.
It's £10. It's on Bandcamp. Your Face is an album. And every pre-order also gets you an automatic entry into a raffle that we're running alongside of it, which we have had some more amazing support with. I mean, I mentioned Samo White earlier, who did the cover work for us. I would also just like to mention Mike Cooter, who's a friend of mine, who did the design and the typesetting for the album. But we've had some amazing support from businesses in Portsmouth with raffle prizes.
And what kind of prizes? Can you just give us an idea, just off the top of your head?
We've got a selection of sort of vouchers for things like hair and nail treatments and food, meals out, meal for two, and my brain's gone dead. We've also got some other actual things. We've got a My Dog sized jigsaw puzzle, which is kind of like gold dust now. They go for quite a lot of money on eBay.
Yeah.
We've got a brand new acoustic guitar from Guitar Centre Southsea. We've got £100 Waterstones voucher as well.
That's
from my
amazing.
former colleagues in Waterstones. I used to work in Waterstones, and
cool.
they've given us that and a book pile as well, a book pile from them.
Incredible.
What else have we got? We've got a mirror. We've got, I should know all of these things. Some beers. We've got just an amazing range of gifts. Yeah.
And is the raffle tickets only on pre-orders?
My understanding at the moment is that they're only on pre-orders, but this is one of the things I need to clarify with Matt for tomorrow, because we've decided to do the draw. We're going to do the draw, I think, towards the end of August.
Okay.
For the raffle, because I would like to keep it open a little bit longer and give more people a chance to get their stake in there and get
absolutely
get their ticket.
Because the point is we're raising money for Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we've set our target at £1,000. So we're aiming for £1,000. I think we've got about 250 of that at the moment. So we really want to try to get some more people buying it.
Yeah, absolutely. And can you tell us a little bit about Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust, Jerry?
It's pretty much what it is. It's the only national charity that deals specifically with cervical cancer, unless I managed to miss one, which I hope I didn't. And it's there to support women through their experience with cervical cancer. Obviously, not everybody who gets cervical cancer dies from it. It's quite. I think the survival rate is considerably better than it used to be, but they're campaigning quite strongly at the moment, because there's been quite a fall off in the number of people having their smear tests. Smear tests, I think I read earlier, are now at their lowest level that they've ever been, uptake on smear tests. It's particularly with young women, which is unfortunate, because younger women are actually in the highest risk group. We tend to associate cervical cancer with older women, but in actual fact it's the 25 to 34-year-olds that form the two highest risk groups. So that's out there, what they're doing. They're raising awareness, trying to get people out to have their smear tests, trying to help them overcome all the concerns that women have about smear tests. There's a lot of concerns there. Collating the information, putting together the data, some of which we'll hopefully be using next week if I can get this thing sorted out. fundraising and being there to support people who are experiencing cervical cancer and families who've lost people to cervical cancer.
Yeah, they sound like a really great charity. So it's really...
And the people that I've dealt with there have been absolutely lovely. The people that I've been dealing with, Daisy and Amy, have been, spectacular.
Amazing. So yeah, everyone please go and pre-order the album. Let's raise as much money as we can for Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust. If we can get above £1,000, how amazing would that be?
That would be amazing, yeah.
Be incredible. And yeah, we'll go win some prizes in the process and get an album of 14 tracks almost, maybe 13.
Yeah.
13, 14 tracks. That's a bargain for a tenner.
Absolutely. Completely. And especially with the voices that we've got. I was listening to Hannah earlier. I've never actually heard her sing before, Hannah Ream. And oh my God, the hair was going up on the back of my arms.
Wow.
You know, Amber I know anyway, but yeah, there's some amazing talent going on to this album. Tenor is really cheap.
So cheap. And I can't wait to hear everyone as well.
No, same.
I'm so excited to just sit and listen to it. And of course, there's some exclusive tracks on there, including mine and a few others. So, you would have heard these songs anywhere before. So definitely worth it. And I will share all the links down below. But can you just tell us where we can find you on Facebook?
So on Facebook, we are Your Face is an Album. Just type in Your Face is an Album and it will come up. Same on Instagram, actually, Your Face is an Album. I'm working at the moment, I'm trying to put together a website as well, but I'm not, it's not live yet. So at the moment, Facebook, Instagram, Your Face is an Album, type it in, you will find us.
Brilliant. Everyone, the links will be down below in the description as well. So that's great. So thank you so much for coming on and going through all of that. It's been such a pleasure chatting about Porsche.
Thank you for doing that. Thank you for your involvement and all the help you've been giving us.
Not a problem at all. I'm really honoured to be able to be a part of it. So yeah, let's get this money raised.
I'll do it.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Fiona. I'm going to pop you off the screen, my darling, but thank you so much.
Take care.
Much love.
Bye.
How amazing is Fiona? I can't even imagine that whole year that she's just had. But yeah, please everyone go and check out Your Face is an Album. It's going to be an incredible album, I know it. I only know a few people that are on it, but it's going to be amazing. So I'll pop the links below. Please go and follow the Facebook group, follow the Instagram page, get your pre-order in so you can get into the raffle and win the prizes. And yeah, let's get some money raised for charity. And of course, if you're a young woman, or it doesn't matter what age you are, if you haven't had your screen yet, let's get rid of the stigma about screening, because I'm one of them. I didn't actually take my my smear test screening till I was 30. So that's like 5 years too late. Fortunately, it came back with nothing, but I was petrified of it for many years, and finally went, and I went with sweaty palms. My heart was racing, and I didn't know what I was afraid of, really, because it was over in 2 seconds. The nurse was absolutely lovely, and it didn't hurt as much as what I thought it might, and it didn't actually. It wasn't very painful at all. And then it was done, and then I got the results back. It was fine. But it's better to get that done and know whether or not there's anything there than to not get it done and find out later on that there is something that needs attention. Better safe than sorry, is the saying. Better earlier found out than later. So please, if you're sitting here thinking, oh God, no, go onto the Joe's Cervical Cancer Trust website, have a look, see what they say about it, get some support if you want, or message me. I don't know. Message me. I mean, I've only gone through my experience, but if you want to chat about it, I'm here. So thank you again for being with us this week. Please do check out Your Face is an Album, and have a good one. See you next time. Much love. Bye.
hand upon your chest. Swear I felt the rise and fall of your breath. And in the times when I awoke, I had to live the nightmare of you being gone. Oh, but winter's grit won't last too long. Cause together we have always been so strong. I see beauty everywhere, in the times it could have passed me by. And on this path I feel so lost, and in those nights I'm trapped in my own mind. But in my thoughts, you're never far behind. Together we will make it through this time. Thought I heard your voice the other day, and everywhere I see your face, in the moments when I can't go home, I think of what you'd say. Well, I made it 'cause you swore I'd be okay. Well, together we can face the darker days. Yes, together we can face the darker days.